Okay. So, you know how we're all kind of obsessed with figuring out where we came from?
Yeah, like where did all this begin?
Totally. And like I get sucked into these rabbit holes every time I start looking into origins.
Oh, yeah, it's so easy to do.
Because there's just like so much information, so many theories.
You can just drown in it all.
It's overwhelming. So today we're going to try and like really focus in on some of the more out there ideas.
Right.
Specifically, we're diving into the whole ancient civilizations and extraterrestrial contact thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
We've got some really cool sources for this deep dive.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, historical accounts.
Ancient astronaut theorists.
Oh, those guys are always fun.
We'll even get into some mythology and religious texts.
Whoa, okay. Getting deep.
And even some scientific concepts like panspermia.
See, I told you it gets wild.
The thread that ties it all together is this idea that maybe, just maybe, our early history has some pretty unexpected influences.
Okay, so just to be clear up front.
Yeah.
We're not here to like definitively say aliens were here, case closed.
No.
This is more about...
We're like, hey, let's look at the arguments.
Right, like what are these sources actually saying about this stuff?
Exactly. Let's examine the possibility of beings from other worlds influencing early human societies.
Right, and you know, as always, we want you, the listener,
of course,
to come to your own conclusions.
That's the whole point.
All right, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
So picture this 1927 in which is in modern-day Iraq.
Okay.
This British archaeologist, Leonard Woolley.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he was making some pretty major discoveries.
Big dig guy.
Totally. And one of the most interesting finds were the remains of Queen Puabi.
Okay, Puabi.
But here's where it gets weird.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Reports from back then noted her skull was like unusually large, almost elongated.
Interesting.
And get this, similar skulls have been found in ancient Egypt and Peru too.
Whoa, that's a connection.
Right. Like what's going on with these elongated skulls?
I know, right? It's like they're all connected somehow.
And that's exactly what ancient astronaut theory jumps on.
Yeah, they love this stuff.
Okay, so there's this guy, Eric Poltorak, and he was looking at all this.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, Puabi's remains are super strange.
He didn't hold back.
Not at all. He was especially fixated on the whole giant head thing.
Okay, so he's thinking maybe she wasn't a normal human.
That's what he said. He even brought up the idea of running genetic tests on her remains.
Whoa, like looking for specific genes.
Right. He called them Anunnaki genes.
Okay, now hold on for a sec. For those just tuning in, who are the Anunnaki?
Oh, yeah, good point. So in a lot of these theories, the Anunnaki are these like super powerful beings.
Powerful.
Like they're from another planet, and they supposedly messed around with early humans.
Like interacted with them, taught them things.
That's the idea. Some say they even like ruled over humans.
Oh, wow, like ancient alien overlords.
That's a whole other deep dive, but you get the idea.
I'm getting chills.
So anyway, back to these skulls. This other guy, David Childress, he takes it even further.
Oh, he's all in on the Anunnaki.
He basically says point blank that these elongated skulls, some people think, belong to the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
He thinks they're directly connected to Queen Puabi.
Maybe she was one of them.
His take is she was either full-on Anunnaki or, wait for it, a hybrid.
Oh, wait. Like part alien, part human?
You guys, it sounds crazy, right?
That's wild. But hey, it's in the source material.
They're just laying it all out there.
Exactly.
Now Philip Coppens throws another wrench into the mix.
Coppens always has a unique angle.
Right. He sees Puabi as this early queen or maybe a priestess, and she lived around the time when the Anunnaki were supposedly kicking it on Earth.
Okay, so right in the thick of it.
Totally.
Yeah.
He basically says her existence with that crazy skull could be proof that the Anunnakis were real and that they were getting busy with humans.
Getting busy. Whoa, hold on.
You know what I mean? Interbreeding.
Okay, interbreeding.
Got it.
So here's the big question then.
The million-dollar question. If these weird skulls in Mesopotamia and all over are actually evidence of the Anunnaki, what about all those stories of them coming down from the sky?
Right, like could those be true too?
And if so, what does that say about all the ancient legends we have?
From all over the world.
About gods and supernatural beings messing around with humans.
Because in every culture, right?
It's like a universal story.
And that's what makes it so fascinating.
Okay, so think about it.
Okay, I'm thinking.
You've got angels in like every religion.
Yeah.
You've got those feathered serpent gods in Central America. The Anasazi have their star people.
It's like they're all saying the same thing.
And Nick Redfern, he's one of our sources.
Yeah, what'd he say?
He points out that It's like this pattern.
A pattern.
Yeah, like all these cultures, they have stories about these super powerful magical beings
who
always seem to show up from above.
From above. Like they literally came from the sky.
Right. And it's not just like one or two cultures.
It's just everywhere.
It's like everywhere you look.
It's cool.
Now, Linda Moulton Howe, she takes it a step further.
Moulton Howe, she's hardcore.
Oh, yeah. She's like, look, it's not just the general idea.
Yeah.
It's the specifics of the Star People stories.
Okay.
And the Anunnaki narratives.
Yeah.
She's like, the similarities are way too specific to be a coincidence.
Like it's all coming from the same place.
She even calls it a shared origin.
Like one real source for all these myths and legends.
And dreams, she said.
Dreams. Oh, whoa.
It's trippy, right?
It is. It's like, what if these aren't just made up stories?
Yeah.
But like memories of something that actually happened.
I know, right? Echoes of the past.
Mind-blowing.
And then William Henry throws this question out there.
Henry's always got the big question.
He's like, what if it wasn't just one alien race influencing us?
Okay.
Like, what if there were multiple groups?
Like a whole bunch of different aliens?
Each leaving their mark on different cultures.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or maybe it was just one race, the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
But their story got told in different ways by different people.
Like a giant game of telephone.
Right. It really makes you think about all the different versions of these stories.
And how they might all be connected somehow.
It's like trying to piece together a puzzle, but with like myth and legend.
A cosmic puzzle.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about all these legends of sky beings.
Right.
Now let's see what some of the old religious texts have to say.
Like the Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Specifically, are there hints in these texts about interbreeding?
Between humans and aliens or gods or whatever.
Right. Like, is that a thing?
I'm ready to dive in.
Okay, so the Hebrew Bible.
Old Testament.
Yeah. There's this passage in Genesis chapter 6 about the Nephilim.
The Nephilim, who are they?
Okay, so William Fulco, he breaks it down in our sources.
Okay.
He talks about this whole thing where the sons of gods.
Sons of gods.
Yeah, and the daughters of men.
Okay, so like gods and humans hooking up.
Basically.
Yeah.
And they have these kids.
Yeah.
Who are called the Nephilim.
The Nephilim, okay.
And they're described as this superhuman race.
Superhuman, so like more powerful than regular humans.
Right. Stronger, smarter, all that.
Interesting.
And ancient astronaut theorists.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we know what's going on here.
They see aliens everywhere.
They do.
Yeah.
But it's kind of compelling, right?
It is. It makes you think.
Now, Scott Roberts, he points out that in some translations, the Nephilim are described as giants.
Giants, like really tall.
Yeah. Like way bigger than regular humans.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Right. So he connects that to the Anunnaki, who are sometimes portrayed as enslaving early humans.
Enslaving humans, so like they're the bad guys.
Not exactly the friendly aliens we were talking about earlier.
Right. Okay, so Roberts is saying maybe the Anunnaki and the Nephilim are like the same story, just told from different perspectives.
That's his idea.
I can see that.
And William Henry, he adds to this by saying the Nephilim might not just have been big.
Well,
he thinks they might have had this special knowledge.
Special knowledge, like advanced technology or something.
Right, and they shared it with humans.
Whoa, so aliens giving humans knowledge and power.
That's a pretty common theme in a lot of these theories.
It is. It's like they're trying to explain where human civilization got its start.
Right. Like maybe we had a little help from some extraterrestrial friends.
Or maybe not so friendly, depending on who you ask.
True. Now it's not just the Hebrew Bible that has these kinds of stories.
Oh, yeah. It's all over the place.
Think about Greek mythology.
Oh, yeah. Zeus and all those guys.
Right. So Zeus is this god.
The head honcho.
And he has kids with human women.
Like Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules, Perseus, a whole bunch of them.
Half god, half human.
Exactly.
Right.
And then there's the Book of Enoch.
I've heard of that one.
It talks about these watchers who come down from heaven.
That's familiar.
And guess what?
They get busy with the humans.
You got it. Same story, different book.
It's like a recurring theme.
Right. And it makes you wonder, could all of this be connected to the Anunnaki?
Or at least to the idea of aliens interacting with humans.
That's a pretty big question.
It is. It makes you think about what these ancient stories are really trying to tell us.
Right? Are they just stories?
Or are they like memories of real events just passed down through generations?
Memories that got kind of twisted and changed over time.
That's a really interesting idea.
It is. It's like we're trying to decode the language of the past.
And maybe the answer is hidden in plain sight?
Maybe so. Okay, now let's switch gears completely.
Okay.
Let's talk about the science of life's origins.
Like, how did life actually start?
Right. So our sources bring up this guy, Francis Crick.
Crick, wasn't he one of the guys who discovered DNA?
Yeah. He was a big deal.
Okay, so what's his take on all this?
So he came up with this theory called directed panspermia.
Directed panspermia, that's a mouthful.
I know, right? It basically means that intelligent life could have spread life from one planet to another on purpose.
It's like seeding the universe with life.
Exactly. And he was thinking about this partly because of how fast life popped up on Earth.
Like it seemed too fast to happen randomly.
That's what he thought.
Huh. So maybe someone gave it a nudge.
Maybe. Now, Graham Hancock, he takes Crick's idea and runs with it.
Hancock, he's always up for a good conspiracy.
Oh, yeah. He loves this stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, what if there was this super advanced alien civilization?
Okay, I'm listening.
And they knew they were doomed.
Doomed like their planet was dying or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So they decided to send their DNA out into space.
Like a last-ditch effort to preserve their legacy?
Exactly. To plant the seeds of life on other planets.
So they wouldn't be completely wiped out.
Right. It's like a cosmic insurance policy.
A very long-term investment.
Very long-term.
Okay, so now we're getting to the really big question.
The biggest.
What if we're the descendants of those aliens?
Whoa.
Like, what if our ancestors weren't from Earth at all?
I know, right?
It's mind-blowing.
It is. It, like, reframes everything we think we know about ourselves.
Totally. Now, Nick Pope, he's a guy who studies exobiology.
Exobiology, what's that?
It's basically the study of life beyond Earth.
Okay, so he's like the alien expert.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And he says that based on what we know about the universe,
Yeah.
it's totally possible that life on Earth didn't start here. Like it came from somewhere else.
Exactly. Like maybe it hitched a ride on a comet or something.
Whoa, a cosmic hitchhiker.
I know, right? It's crazy to think about.
It is. It really challenges the whole idea of where we belong in the universe.
It does. Now, Bill Burns, he has an even simpler explanation.
Simpler how?
He thinks we were just dropped off here.
Dropped off like we were someone's science project.
Kind of? Like maybe aliens needed a base on this planet?
A base for what?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they were just exploring the galaxy.
Or maybe they had something more sinister in mind.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that's getting a little creepy.
But hey, it's a theory.
It is, and it's out there.
Now, Robert Schoch, he takes a more philosophical view.
Yeah.
He's like, look, the universe is massive.
Like mind-bogglingly huge.
Right. And statistically speaking,
Yeah.
there's got to be other life out there.
It just makes sense.
Right? So maybe we're not alone.
And maybe that life isn't just bacteria.
Maybe there are other intelligent beings out there.
That would be amazing. It would. But then when you think about the logistics.
The logistics of what?
Of aliens traveling all the way to Earth.
Yeah, that's a long trip.
It is. So our sources talk about the challenges of space travel.
Like it's not easy.
Not at all.
Yeah.
They bring up Alexei Leonov.
Who's that?
He was a Russian cosmonaut.
Okay.
And in 1965, he did the first spacewalk.
The first one, that's crazy.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
But the point is,
Yeah.
he had to wear this super high-tech suit.
To protect him from the vacuum of space?
Exactly, because if he didn't...
Wait, he would have died instantly.
Exactly. So if humans need all that gear just to survive outside our own planet...
Yeah.
Wouldn't aliens need something similar to survive on Earth?
I mean, it makes sense.
Right? Like our atmosphere is different, our gravity's different.
So they'd need some kind of protection.
And maybe some pretty advanced technology to get here in the first place.
Right. Like, how do they even travel all that distance?
Which brings us to all those ancient carvings and drawings.
The ones that look like astronauts.
Yeah, those. Some people say they're proof of ancient aliens.
Because they're wearing these suits.
And it's not just one or two images.
It's all over the world.
Right. So maybe these carvings are literally showing us what ancient aliens look like.
Like they had to wear suits too?
Maybe. And it's interesting they kind of look like us.
Yeah, 2 arms, 2 legs ahead.
Like maybe aliens aren't as different from us as we think.
That's a trippy thought.
It is. Now, our sources also mentioned this theory called panspermia.
Panspermia. I think I've heard of that.
It's the idea that life started somewhere else and then spread to Earth.
Like it drifted through space?
Yeah. Maybe on an asteroid or something.
Like a cosmic seed.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a big topic of debate back in the early 1900s.
Like scientists were actually arguing about this.
British and German scientists were going back and forth.
Trying to figure out where life came from.
Right. And Paul Davies, he suggests that maybe Mars was the original incubator for life.
Mars, like our neighbor.
Yeah. He thinks that pieces of Mars could have been blasted into space.
By asteroids hitting the planet.
Right. And some of those pieces might have landed on Earth.
Carrying tiny Martian life forms.
Which then evolved into...
Whoa.
So we're all Martians.
Maybe. And there's actual evidence to support this.
Evidence? What kind of evidence?
In 1996, they found this meteorite in Antarctica.
A meteorite from Mars.
It's called ALH84001.
Kitschy name.
And get this, it had what looked like fossilized bacteria.
Fossilized bacteria, so like proof of ancient life on Mars?
Exactly. Which means that life existed on another planet.
At least in some form.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. It opens up so many possibilities.
It does. But it also makes you think about the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
Like what else is out there?
And what else don't we know?
Exactly. Okay, now we've talked about all these exciting possibilities.
Aliens, ancient mysteries.
But our sources also bring up something kind of dark.
Dark how?
They talk about the destruction of ancient historical sites.
Oh yeah, like what ISIS did to Nimrud?
Yeah. Nimrud was this ancient Assyrian city in Iraq. I've seen pictures. It was incredible.
It was like 3,000 years old.
And they just blew it up.
It was devastating. And our sources point out that the Middle East is like the birthplace of civilization.
Like so much of our history comes from that region.
Right. So when places like Nimrud get destroyed.
It's like we're losing pieces of ourselves.
Exactly. And it's not just ISIS.
There's been so much destruction in that region.
Since 1990, our sources say it's been like nothing we've ever seen.
Like on par with what happened to the Roman Empire.
It's scary to think about.
It is. Like someone's trying to erase our past.
And that brings us back to the whole alien thing.
Okay.
Our sources ask this really unsettling question.
Yeah.
What if this destruction is intentional?
Intentional, like someone's doing it on purpose.
Right. Like what if they're trying to hide something?
Hide what?
Maybe the truth about our origins.
Like maybe proof of ancient alien contact.
Exactly. It's a pretty dark thought.
It is. It's like a conspiracy theory on top of a conspiracy theory.
But it's out there.
And it makes you wonder what else we're not being told.
It really does. Okay, so that was a lot to unpack.
We went deep.
We did. We started with Queen Puabi's skull.
That crazy, elongated skull.
Then we got into ancient myths and legends.
From all over the world.
We looked at religious texts.
The Bible, the Book of Enoch.
We talked about the science of life.
Panspermia, alien bacteria.
And then we ended on a bit of a dark note.
The destruction of history.
It was a wild ride.
It was. But that's what we do here.
Right. We explore the weird, the wonderful, and the downright disturbing.
And hopefully we make you think a little bit.
That's the goal. So on that note, I'll leave you with one last thought.
Okay, hit me.
With all these stories about beings from the sky.
Yeah.
And with all the ancient history that's being lost.
It's sad to think about.
It is. What will future generations think about us?
Like when they look back at our time.
Right. What will they believe about our origins?
About where we came from.
Will they have all the pieces of the puzzle?
Or will some of them be missing?
I guess only time will tell.
Deep.
That's our show for today.
Until next time.
Keep looking up.
And keep asking questions.